Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good everything all around the world. Wade Lightheart here, live from Panama, Panama City, Panama, and reaching out across the airwaves to all our Enagic friends around the world. And one of the reasons we use the good morning, good afternoon, and good evening is because we literally have people jumping on here talking from all parts of the world. So welcome, everybody. We have a great show for you tonight. Last week, for those of you who aren't on the Prosperity and Health Alliance email list, I encourage you to do so at prosperityandhealthalliance.com, and that will keep you updated. It's also a resource where we have all of these webinars. Everything that you need to become a world-class expert in the Enagic business is available at the Prosperity and Health Alliance for all Enagic distributors around the world, no matter what, and there is no charge for this. It is a public service that we do to support Mr. Oshiro's mission of true health with compassion around the world. Again, I'm your host, Wade T. Lightheart tonight, and tonight, or today, whatever you want to call that, we have a very special set that I did. And last week I put an email out and requested if there was things that people wanted to learn or understand or have challenges with the Enagic business. What would it be? And one of the ones that came back is just understanding the Enagic compensation program. And so tonight I'm going to answer this, and then this webinar is going to be a resource for you and your team when you get these inevitable questions about the compensation program. And so hopefully you'll be able to just use this and refer to it for yourself and for your distributors. So without any further ado, let's get into it. First and foremost, Enagic is a global business. We have points of sales and service all around the world. We've been doing this for over 40 years, and all these little stars and dots that you see on the screen are places where there's offices that provide a sales office, a service office, and a distributor office. And this is an amazing thing for us that allows us to, as distributors, make an extraordinary business around the globe. And believe me, that is a massive advantage when you're talking about this business. Let's clarify a couple things, because there's a lot of confusion, I think, in Enagic about what Enagic corporate is going to do and what an Enagic distributor is going to do. So we are Enagic distributors, and we work with Enagic corporate. The corporate people are the people that run the offices, everybody from Mr. Oshiro all the way, Don Prosser and Facundo and Go and all the people that you see in the Enagic offices around the world, May and Canada and all that stuff. These are the people that are running the office, and their job is to do a variety of things. Enagic, or I'm going to just classify this as Enagic. Enagic is, they manufacture the machines, they ship the machines, they service the machines, they set up and manage the branch offices, they collect the money or collect the sales money, and they pay the distributors. That is Enagic's job, okay? And for us as distributors, we have to understand that Enagic is primarily a manufacturing company. They are not a customer service company. They are not a sales company. They are a company that produces machines for us to distribute, and we sell them as independent Enagic distributors. And if you understand that, that's going to eliminate a lot of the problems or challenges or confusion when dealing with corporate office. Okay? So what's our job? What's the job of the distributor? Number one, we market the machines, we train the distributors, we maintain customer support and follow-up, and we have to develop the skills in order to do this well. And we need skills in recruiting, we need skills in salesmanship, we need skills in basic business skills, personal development, and communication skills. These are the skills that are going to allow you to make truly a world-class income if you work on them. And frankly, there's really no industry like that where you need so little to get so much. Let me explain this for just a quick second. If you're looking at Enagic as a career path, and I really think in today's world it is a phenomenal career path. Why? Well, number one, you can start out part-time. Number two, you can start out at any age with no skill level at all. No background in science, no background in business, no background in sales. You do not need to know how to manufacture a machine. You don't know how to invent a machine. You don't have to know anything at all about how the water works, how the business works, how the compensation part works. All you need to know is that you have a dream and you have a vision and you're willing to work your butt off, and you can move through this chart, the entire chart, regardless of whatever has been going on in your past. And that is an amazing opportunity that few people truly grasp. And we're talking about someone realistically that can set themselves up within the next 10 years with a phenomenal monthly and yearly income. And a lot of people say, well, this is a monthly bonus for life. We can't say that legally. There are some qualifications, and of course, but the bottom line is it's an amazing business model, an amazing business opportunity. And this is Oshiro's vision. He could have sold this a lot of other ways, but he decided to use it in this model because he wanted to help a lot of people have what he said is true health. And it's when you really understand the compassion that's involved in this that we're able to do this is really great. So let's get really clear about something too. Our system is different than other business models in the direct sales model. There's MLM versus direct sales, and we have a little bit of both. I always like to say we have all of the benefits of an MLM business with none of the baggage. So most MLMs people think of as a pyramid, but which is, you know, this thing going down in a pyramid shape. And how our program is, it's a direct sales which is over and down. And what that means is this is really based on an earlier version of how the Sony Corporation dominated the world of electronics. Mr. Oshiro used to work for Sony, and he adapted that model and applied it to an MLM model in the direct sales business and created our patented compensation program. There's no other company in the world that has this compensation program. So that makes us unique, and that makes us different. Now, going through the ranks, there is basically 8 total points paid on an Enagic machine. As a distributor, though, they rank you from what's called a 1A, which A stands for agent, all the way up to a 6A, which stands for agent. And all that means is how many machines, not that you've sold directly, but that have been sold between you and your team allows you to move to that new rank. For example, to be a 1A, you need to make a single sale. In your second direct sale, you would be still a 1A. In your third direct, you become a 2A sale. So that's when your commission actually doubles. Now, it's possible to go all the way across the ranks without moving up another level, or you can skip the point level. And it's all based on this. So 10 group sales will allow you to, on your next direct sale, you'll make a 3A. With 20 group sales, okay, on your next direct sale, you can be a 4A. And at 50 group sales, that's between you and your team, not you directly, you can have what's called a 5A sale. And of course, after 100 sales, your next direct sale would be a 6A sale, which is one of the levels or the first level that the company recognizes as leadership. Now, keep in mind, let's say that you went off and made 4 sales total directly, but somehow there was 100 group sales. You may not have actually gotten a sale in the 3A lane or a 4A lane or a 5A lane. Your next direct sale might actually be in a 6A lane. And let's explain that for a little bit. Just so you understand that each one of these lanes has what I call an in and out of the points. So Enagic pays down as far as 8 levels, and you always count from the bottom up. So however many points happen at where the sale occurs determines on how much that you get. So for example, in a 1A position, you could go down as far as 8 levels. In a 2A position, you're going to go down, you know, as many as 8 levels, and it's 285 on that last level. Now, what happens, though, as people make these sales, they don't understand that if you have a sale in, say, a 4A leg and 7 of the points are gone by the time it comes up to you, you're only going to get 1 point out of that 8. And that's where some people get into trouble and don't understand that. And by the way, we're going to ask questions at the end of this webinar so that if you have specific questions about the compensation program, we can answer them for you. So remember that it's 8 points being paid, it's not whatever that rank is. So for example, you can make a sale in the 6A leg, but if there's only 4 points left, you only get 4 points. If you make a sale in the 4A leg and there's only 2 points left, you can only get the 2 points out of that. But that can be a little confusing at first. You'll start to figure it out. And the big thing is don't get caught in analysis. The other thing is let me explain how to move to the next rank. So, and by the way, I borrowed some of these slides from all over the internet. I grabbed different ones. So I know some people like to have all the same numbers and things, but I've got so many programs and slides and everything, I thought I'd use it this way, just so you can get this idea. In order to move over to a new A position, or a new agent rank, what that means is, in order to get to the 2A, you've got to have a couple of direct sales. In order to get to the 3A, you need 10 sales, but you always have to have that new sale to open up the new leg. In other words, you could have 15 sales. That doesn't mean that your old sales now are under the 3A rank. No. What happens is you have to open a new sale and everybody there will be under the 3A rank. Same thing with 20 sales. You could be at 25 perhaps before you actually open that 4A leg. 50, once you get over 50, your 51st sale, then you can be a 5A distributor, and so on and so on. So keep in mind, you've got to have both the group sales and the direct sales to advance to the new rank, okay? And that means you must also receive an 8-point check to count the sale for advancement. And what that means is let's say there's sales going on deep down below your point count. They do not move you in rank across the board. Okay, so you have to be getting at least 1 point on the sale in order for it to count in your distributor, towards your distributor total. It's called the 8-point count group. So hopefully that will clarify that for you. There might be some questions. So keep in mind, to understand how many points that you can get in a leg. In your 1A leg, the most points you will ever get on a sale in that leg, excuse me, is 1. That's it. You'll never get more than 1 point on that 1A sale. In a 2A, you will never get more than 2A. And by the way, I'm just showing you what you would return on a full commission on say a $4,000 Enagic unit, the ST501, the most popular unit that we have. For 3A, you're going to get 3 points, 4A, 4 points, 5A, 5 points, 6A, 6 points. That's the maximum you can get on any one of those. If there's only to reiterate again, if there's only 3 or 4 points left in a sale and you're in, let's say, a 6A leg, you're only going to get those 3 or 4 points that's left. You're not going to get the whole ones because there wouldn't be enough commission to pay it out. Just so you understand something as well, the maximum payout on every single machine is $2,280. This is based on the ST501. So you go, well, that's 8 points, Wade. So 8 points times 285 is 2280. Now this includes the $50 special point bonus. It's really 235 plus 50. And by the way, all of the machines are broken down by this format. I won't go into the detail of all the machines of what is the points and what is the special points, but you can get that at Enagic.com so that you will know exactly what that is. But here's the simple rub. To make sure that you have an SP bonus, you need to have a sale from that distributorship every 90 days. Or you need to be on UConn, the UConn recurring program. And if you're on UConn recurring, what happens is that you will always maintain SP qualified, okay? So just to give you an idea, if you have a sale date on, let's say, the 6th of June, excuse me, the 6th of October, you're qualified, you know, for till January 5th of the following year. So 3 months later, you got 90 days from that thing. If you made that same thing on the 25th of 07, it'd be the 24th of 08. You can see that, October 25th. So it's rolling 90 days. Every 90 days, as soon as you make that sale, you've got 90 days from that sale for your special point bonus. So if you made a special point bonus 5 days after your last one, guess what? It's 90 days from that last one, whatever that last one is. So you want to stay up to date and make sure, especially if you're holding multiple accounts or multiple things, distributorships, you need to understand that they all need to be qualified or you're going to start losing that SP bonus, okay? So that's an important component. Now, here's the thing. There's another level of understanding qualifications for all commissions and bonuses. Number one, there's 3 distinctions that the company has. D1, which is a direct sale, that's 100%. So if you're D1 qualified, you get 100%. If you're D0, which is usually after 1 to 3 years, anytime in that range, you're only going to get half of the sale commission. And if you go beyond 3 years, it's an FA0. And what that means is the sales occur in your organization. It's just that you're not getting paid for them because you haven't done anything. And there are people out there that literally have lost out on tens of thousands of dollars because they went FA0 or they went D0 and didn't realize that they could qualify and actually double their money if they just went out and made 1 sale. But they didn't, and you need to understand these. So you got to stay qualified. And all you need to do is make a sale once per year, and you're at D1 direct qualified. And keep in mind that any unpaid commissions and bonuses, they roll up and are paid to the next qualified 6A2. So the money gets redistributed through the people who are actually doing the work, which is great. Now, once you get to 6A, that's when you first get the bonuses that happens outside of your ranks, and you earn what's called a $200 education allowance, and this is called your 6A bonus. This can add up to a lot of money. So a 6A is someone who has gotten to 100 machines, and they've opened up 101. Now, at that point, oftentimes you'll have sales that are happening what a lot of people call out of your count. They're beyond your 8-point range. But the company is going to give you $200 on every one of those sales. And believe me, when this starts happening, it's an awesome place to be because you start to find out, well, you start to find out, wow, I mean, there's a lot of money that I can be making in my organization. So you always want to be working in depth and width. And oftentimes, by helping those people in depth, you can often trigger a lot of these $200 bonuses when you get into the higher ranks of leadership. So the other thing is for those of you who are at 6A and beyond, and you've had questions about this on the education allowance, number one, you got to make 1 direct sale per year to get it. Number 2, this is only paid on sales outside of the 8 points down to the next 6A. What happens when the next 6A comes is that bonus is going to be split. So one person is going to get $30 and one person is going to get a $20. So it's going to be split to a $50 total and a $200 total. So one person will get $170 and then plus 30 for $200. But when it gets to the next 6A, that's going to be split. So it's going to go to $150 and $50. And then when it goes down to Sue, it's going to be split again. So you have to realize that it's a $50 bonus when you have a 6A beyond you. So, and that'll go down as much as 2. So a total of $300 paid on that. And so that can get a little confusing. Some will go, well, how come I only got this much money this time? And they realize that someone qualified as a 6A, so now they're going to drop those $200 bonuses, and those $200 bonuses are going to be $50 bonuses. And don't worry if you're a little bit confused by it. This is specific questions and answers for people who have put these up, and I've popped these on the screen today. So some of them you might not have got to these questions, but you will experience this at some point. So let me show you how to understand this in depth. So to start, here's someone that made here's 8 points. So Jan down here at the bottom made a sale. That was a 3-point sale for Jan, and what happened is they got 855. That means there's 5 points remaining. Tom, who is a 6A, he only gets 5 points for that. He gets 1425, which is pretty good, but because Yan got 300. But guess what? Sue is going to get a $200 education bonus, okay, because she is the next ranked 6A. Jim above that is going to be 50, and then you up here is 50. That's how that works. Okay, so you can see how that is going to be dispersed. There was the sale for Jan, who got 3 points. Tom, because Jan was in a 6A position, should have got 6, but there was only 5 left, so he got 5 points. 0 points are remaining. Sue is the 6A, so she gets $200 for Tom's group sale. Jim, because Sue and Tom are in between, Jim gets a $50 education bonus. And you, way up at the top, way up here, out of the points, gets $50 as an additional bonus. And so that's what the compensation program looks at great depth. And believe me, when you've got a large organization, these are actually, these like $50 bonuses and, you know, the $200 bonuses and things, they really add up, and they also are what I call have built security. So yes, you get a little bit compared to your initial ones, but it's a great thing to have a little bit of a lot of people than a whole lot of just yourself. I think J. Paul Getty said that. So here's another thing. Don't get analysis paralysis. The great news is you can earn thousands before you fully understand the compensation program. In fact, my first year I made 6 figures, and I didn't even know how the compensation program worked. I had no idea, and it took me several more years to actually figure it out in depth. Don't let it stop you. If you have questions and be specific, just get with your upline leader and work it out, or get with your department manager. Now let's talk about 6A2 and 6A22 bonuses. These bonuses have both a monthly bonus, a quarterly bonus, you'll get an education bonus, and you'll get filter bonuses. So you see those filter sales or sales of filters, you get bonuses on that. You get the education bonuses down, just like we showed you before, either it's $50s or $200 bonuses. But you also start qualifying for the monthly and quarterly bonuses, which are based on your team sales. The amount of sales going on inside your team is going to determine the amount of bonus that you get. And when you become one of those ranks, Enagic will share with you what that rank would be. And what I can say is this. My experience is shown for most people, the monthly and quarter bonuses, if you're making whatever you're making on a monthly basis in your bonus, so let's say you're making a $2,000 monthly bonus based on your sales, you can bet that your quarterly bonus, if you took that 3 times, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, made 6,000, divide it in half, it's about $3,000. That's about what your quarterly bonus is going to be. It's going to be probably around half of what your total monthly bonus was added up over the quarter. So again, in that situation, if you made $2,000 a month on each of your monthly bonuses, that third month you're going to get your $2,000 plus you're probably going to get a monthly bonus of $3,000. These are just ideas to share with you. That's not absolute. It's all going to be based on how many people in your team, how fast your team is growing, and those type of sales. But generally, that's a good rule of thumb to figure out that your quarterly bonus will be half of your monthly bonuses added up. Now, 6A23, there's a lot of confusion around 2-3 bonuses. And the bottom line is it works like this. You get a minimum of $5,000 per month. You must qualify. There is a qualifying formula for that. It's super easy to qualify, but you do have to qualify. And what we have to say that a lot of people out there going, hey, you get $5,000 per month for life. Well, that's not necessarily true. It is true if you're qualified. It's easy to stay qualified, but you have to qualify. Saying things outside of that gets us into trouble with FTC and things like that, so I just want to be clear about that. There is a monthly bonus formula, and what that means, it's divided by your 8-point sales, how many people you sponsored, how many people are in your organization, and then how many sales happened in the company overall, because at 2-3 you're they'll get you to do kind of special things for around the company or do host events and do all sorts of stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It's a really great deal. And it's well worth it. And it's extraordinary. It's an awesome way. And let me tell you, for those of you who really have a dream of getting into that, a really great, retirement income, some people would say, this is the way you want to go. You want to plan to get to 2-3 from the get-go. Start with the end in mind. Say, I'm going to get to 2-3. It doesn't matter if it takes you 5, 10, 15 years. If it gets to 15 years and you're making this kind of money, it's really, really worth it. Now, keep in mind, your quarterly bonus and your monthly bonus goes through the formula. You get the education bonuses, the filter bonuses, and various rank bonuses when you hit new levels. So here's the numbers, what it looks like. If you want to go through here. So when you hit the rank of 6A, when you have 101 sales total, you'll get a $3,000 one-time bonus, and then there's a monthly sales bonus that goes on for approximately 6 months until your next, or until you go 6A2, whichever comes first. When you go 6A2, you get a $6,000 bonus right off the bat, and that's assuming that your other guys made the qualification. Your last 6A has to make 10 sales in the final month in order to get that, just so you know. 6A22, it's the same thing. $12,000 and your 6A, and what that means is you have two 6A2s. That's a really nice bonus. For most people, when they hit that, that's usually, just so you know, for 6A, most people, when they hit that rank, that's usually a $10,000 month. For 6A22, that's usually a $12,000, $15,000 month. For a 6A22, it's about a $25,000 month, and for a 2-3, it turns out to be about a $50,000 month when you hit that rank bonus. And it's an extraordinary place to be. It's a great way to put some money aside to do things or whatever, and when you hit it. So I'm not saying that's what the company pays you out, but what I've noticed with the various distributors is when you're making the qualifications, the team is moving, you get the bonus plus all that sort of stuff. That's about what it adds up to. Of course, if you're going down, you can go to the bigger ranks at 2-4, they give you a $50,000 check. Just in Okinawa, saw a bunch of those handed out. 6A25, it's $100,000. We saw a bunch of those handed out. We even saw a 2-6, which is a $200,000 bonus, and then you have a 2-7 and a 2-8 bonuses. And so we have people actually moving to those ranks in Enagic. And imagine getting a check for $800,000. And just so you know, I was hanging out with a fellow that had gone to 2-3 in just 9 months. The guy's like, 30 years old. So imagine that. He's already there at 2-3. So where's he going to be at 40? You can too. That's my point. All of these do have certain qualifications that fit with the Enagic policies and procedures, and you can understand that and read that. But here's the thing. These aren't very difficult qualifications, and they're reasonable qualifications if you're doing the business. Then they have those in there because of the rules and regulations that govern our business model. But anybody who is listening to this tonight, or watching this can achieve any and all of these ranks if they're willing to do the work and they're willing to do the skills, learn the work. So what you want to do is you want to look at this as a 1, 3, 5, 7, 10-year plan. Okay? Look, you can't always control the outcome. You can't always control what you might need to learn or where you're at right now. But what I can say is that anybody can do this business. You can, but not everybody will. And it's going to look like work. There is nobody that gets to those higher ranks at those big commissions that's not work. So don't think that you're going to find a couple of people and build the business. I want to clear that up right now. What you want to do is you want to be the person you want to sponsor, and eventually you'll find the people like you or better than you that will drive this business for you. But be that person first. Be the person that is the leader. So year one, you're basically learning the industry and how the company works and all the nuances about it. You're practicing your presentation. You're learning how to invite. You're learning how to close. And you know what? You're building up your inner toughness, because you're going to have to face some rejection here. A lot of people are out in year one because they're not willing to grow as a person. They're not willing to step up, and they take this personally. This isn't you should never take a no personally. You should never take someone questioning the business personally. You should never take someone wondering if this works for them personally. That's their stuff, and you are going to have to experience it and go through it. Accept it and embrace it and learn to grow from it. And that's year one, what it's all about. I highly recommend going to a meeting every single week, attend the webinars, and find the person in Enagic that you most resonate with, and as a presenter or as a leader or as a distributor or whatever that is, whatever you want to find that person and make them your mental mentor. Follow them, listen to their webinars, listen to their podcasts, see their presentations, reach out to them, ask if you can have their presentation, if you want to present their way or your story makes sense to you, learn what they do. Most of the leaders are very, very approachable in the business, and it's a lot of fun. So then that's your first year. And from year 1 to 3, this is where you move to leadership. Some people can get to 6A really quick. Maybe they have a sales background. Maybe they're highly motivated. Maybe they've done this kind of industry before. Whatever that happens to be, you know, I think anybody can go get to 6A in year 1 if they're willing to work. But it has to be how much time they want to invest in and what's their skill level. And over the next 1 to 3 years, this is where you're going to have to move into leadership. And being a leader is different than selling machines. And the real money is in being a leader and helping people develop the skills and qualities that allow them to become leaders. That's how you get to the top ranks. That's how you get a business that works whether you're working or not. And believe me, this is a key component. Now, by year 3 to 5, if you're working this business on what I call a full-time, part-time basis, let's say you have your day job, and you start working this, it's reasonable in 3 to 5 years that this can be your full-time income. And when I mean full-time income, you're making 6 figures a year, every year consistently. In your first year, some people will blast up to 6A and they kind of quit everything. They quit what they're doing and they kind of sit on their laurels, and I've seen them coast back. So if you're working a regular job in that first year, you really want to be able to put away 6 months to 12 months of your current income. When you can do that, when you have that sitting in the bank, then I think you're ready to safely move into that full-time position. And for most people, that's maybe 1 to 3 years. That's the reality. Some people, if you're younger, I think it's easier to kind of go into this full-time. But if you're older and you really got you got a lot of bills, or you got a lot of expenses, or you got kids, or whatever it is, play it safe. Don't. And I'm always an aggressive guy, but don't put too much pressure on your business. Anytime you're in business, there can be ups and downs in business. There can be years of growth. There can be stuff. And the worst thing you can do is become a leader that's putting so much pressure on your team to move, and you forget to do the things that got you to that position. And I think Danny D. McCauley has this down better than anybody. He always continues to do the basics. That's why he's like 6A 20. He's got 20 frontline 6As. He just keeps growing those people over and over and over and over again. So it's depth for security, width for length. So that year to 3 to 5 income. Now, here's a key component. You kind of get good in the Enagic business, and you become that 6A2, maybe a 6A22, something like that. You're making good income. You're at all the meetings. You're probably going across stage, probably doing some presentations for people, like, teaching at the events and stuff like that. But how do you go from the next rank? The next rank is what Eric Worre in Network Marketing Professional says is where you become a real pro. And to become a real pro, you are going to really have to develop the skills and mindset of a professional in this industry. You're probably going to have to develop a better recruiting system. You're probably recruiting at a higher level of person than maybe you started out with. You might be looking at alternative ways to get and grow leadership, or to communicate with leadership. So, for example, I realized when I was at 6A22 is that we didn't have a really good online step-by-step education system for the distributors for my whole team. Now, when I had a small team, it was easy. Come on over to my house, or I would go to this town and everybody would join there, and we would go over the basics and all that stuff. But when I got to 2.2, it was too big, and I couldn't keep up with all of it. And so from there, I realized how do I ensure that everybody on my team is getting it, and how do I make sure that all my 6As are providing the right information for our team, and how do I get to connect with all the people in my organization on a weekly basis, because I really love and care of each and every one of you. And so what I realized by looking at other systems and looking at other companies and studying with Eric Warres, I'm like, wow, I need a communication system. And so we created the Prosperity and Health Alliance. We developed with Siha and with Krill, two of my other leaders that have amazing, different skill sets, and we created an automated online system that every single person that joins Enagic can join our group, and our organization can join our group, and they are going to get a customized set of emails that are going to teach you how to invite, how to close, how to set up a machine, where to get the parts, where to get the things, how the compensation program runs, how to get an online webinar. All the stuff that you need to know as a distributor are actually in the Prosperity and Health Alliance, and the fundamentals are covered in the first 12 weeks. And it's 2 a week with a check mark on every 5th week. You can go through the, every 4th week. You got a check point card that you can go over with your upline distributor to make sure that you're doing everything properly. If you do this, you will become a world-class Enagic distributor, without a doubt. If you do all of those things, they're there. And you don't have to do them in 12 weeks. You can do them faster. You can do them slower. You can do them whatever pace that you want. But that is what's going to get you paid as a professional. You will make an income that is as good or better as a doctor, as a lawyer, as an engineer, as someone who has gone through a 5, 8, 10, 12-year career. And you're doing this starting out probably on a part-time basis with very little investment. There's really no industry like that. That's what's going to allow you to move into what Eric calls a professional, and he outlines that very clearly. There's workshops, and you're going to need probably some personal development and some business development skills to get there, and I highly recommend it. It's the best thing ever. One of the things we say is this industry is a self-development business with a compensation program. Now, the final run here in 10 years, and we're looking at a 10-year plan, is in 7 to 10 years, using this business model with Enagic, you can literally move into the top 1% of the world's income producers. Where else can you do that? And the steps are here, the people are here, the system is here, the company's distribution model is here, the points of sales, service, and distribution all around the world in the #1 commodity in the world. There's 7 billion people on the planet. The market's not tapped out. We're growing in all over the planet. We're setting up new machines. We're setting up new distributorships. This is a business that's not going away. It's water. This is not like the latest cell phone. This is not like computers. Everybody needs water. Everybody needs their machine. There are literally billions of people that don't even have any kind of clean water. Like that. So this industry isn't going away anytime soon. So what a great way in such turbulent, changing times to get involved in a business that helps people, that helps the environment, that provides clean water, that allows you to move all the way from someone with no background, no education, no skill set, to develop the skills and develop the education and develop the background to go to the top 1% of the world's income. Amazing. So here's where I'm going to leave you, and then we're going to go to questions. And you need to ask yourself this question right now. If you got a pen and paper, write this out right now. Take the time and say, where do I need help? What part of my business? So the part of your business where there's drama, one of the things I always say, when drama goes up, income goes down. I got that from Harv Eker in the Millionaire Mindset. Any place that there is drama in your business means that you're creating drama because you have a limited skill set. And what that means is you don't know how to solve the challenge you're facing. Every time you have a challenge, there's an opportunity. And God doesn't give you anything more than you can handle. So you have to recognize if you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling that there's something kind of conflict, or you're mad at Enagic, or you're mad at a distributor, or someone in some other team is trying to steal your team or whatever, what you got to realize is there's something that you need to learn. You need to learn the skill on how to manage what life is giving you. You have to learn the skill to handle what may be coming up in the business. And I've broken those down into 3 categories. Number 1, sales. you're either, if you're saying, well, everybody's done with it, everybody knows about Enagic. No, what the challenge is, or the invitation is you don't know how to invite new people. If you find, hey, there's no demos in my area, I got no upline to do this, you know what? Here's the challenge. The challenge is you don't know how to present yet, so you need to learn and work on your presenting skills. Or if you don't like the presenter in your area, you get bored, or they talk too long, or you don't like how they do the presentation, guess what? That means that you need to get your presentation skill up to speed. Closing. Nobody wants to buy the machines. Everybody says they're too expensive. Can't get flanked, all these sort of stuff. No. The issue is you need to improve your closing skills. I recommend Straight Line Persuasion by Jordan Belfort. I think it's one of the best systems ever in sales. Phenomenal sales, to understand that. And if you study that, if you go get that course, and you study that course every single night for 2 or 3 or 4 months, believe me, you will become a world-class sales machine. And what baffled you before will make you giggle. And I can tell you personally that course has brought in for me well over 7 figures in the last couple of years. Just learning that course. In additional income that I probably wouldn't have made had I not taken that course. Think about that for a second. So it's a couple $1,000. Is that worth $1 million to you in the next couple of years? Sure it is. Why not? If you find that people aren't, you're losing people, or they're not getting back to you, that's not the issue. It's not them. It's your follow-up's not good. You don't have a system to follow up. You're not tracking the numbers. You don't have a system of reaching out to them. You don't know how to move closer to the sale. You're not following up on the trials, whatever it is. So see, every time you have drama, you can either have drama, or you can say, oh, you know what? It's an invitation to say, hey, I got to learn a new skill. I got to raise my game. It's really that simple. And if you take ownership of everything inside your business and inside your experience, guess what? You become unstoppable, because there's nothing you can't solve. And there's nothing in this business that is unsolvable. And there's nothing in this business that you can't find someone who's actually solved the problem that you feel is a problem right now. So remember, stop looking for drama. When you see drama, you're causing it. It's not the company. It's not you. It's not your customer. Okay? I hope you get that. Next. The next thing where people run into trouble, or where people might need help, is business and time management systems. Listen, people go, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. Really? Everybody has the same amount of time in a day. It's 24 hours a day. It's 7 days a week. It's the same for everybody. So what you're really saying is, no, I haven't managed my time properly, or sometimes even it's not time management, it's priority management. I think there's a company out there that's called the Priority Manager. So you want to get your time or your priorities in order, and you need to put the time aside for your business into what I call income-producing activities. Making a PowerPoint is not an income-producing activity. Watching a video is not an income-producing activity. These might be building skills, or they might be saying, "Oh, I worked on my business 10 hours this week." I worked on 5 PowerPoints, and I was on 5 calls. We talked about this in one of the other things, is that you want to separate, and I gave a ratio. It's on one of the webinars. You can go to our Prosperity and Health Alliance, to the YouTube channel, and you can get these business and time management, and it talks about how to distribute the income-producing activities. And an income-producing activity is talking to someone, inviting someone, doing a presentation, moving towards a close, or following up, or that. Those are what drives sales. You have to have sales. At the end of the day, sales is what makes the business go. And then final thing is leadership and personal development. This is a big one. As you grow your business, you will inevitably have situations where 2 of your friends are trying to sponsor, or 2 of your team members are trying to sponsor the same person. And one of them is going to get that person, and one of them isn't. And if you don't have leadership and personal development skills, you're going to have a problem. And that's tough, and that can be challenging. But there's great ways, and there's a great opportunity in that. You're going to run into situations where someone from another team is going to sell a machine to someone that you or someone in your team developed. You need personal development and leadership skills, how to manage that. You are going to run into problems where there might be a challenge with the Enagic corporate office because they didn't do something or didn't get something done or something happened or there was some curiosity. Now, you need some leadership and personal development, so how you're going to navigate that. And there's also going to be opportunities to grow your business and to teach the skills, the translatable skills to your team. That's going to take leadership and personal development. And finally, personal development is about actually taking ownership of your business and saying, you know what, my results tell me how my business is doing. So if I want to make $100,000 a year and I'm only making 50, what there's an invitation is I've got to grow myself. And if I grow myself, I can grow my business. If I can lead my team in a way that inspires them as opposed to lead them in a way that makes me a tyrant, then I am going to, it's going to determine two very different experiences in your business. And personal development is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and it's near and dear to this company. And I can tell you, you can get to a point in this business where it becomes extremely easy. And it gets really easy directly in proportion by the amount of time you put into your sales training, your priority management or your business management system, and how much leadership and personal development skills you get. That's where you get the big money. So ask yourself, where do I need help? And check in. Oftentimes we covered a lot of these inside the group, so you wrote down that thing tonight. Go through the YouTube channels tonight when you get off this call and say, hey, you know what, here's the one I need. Here's the one on inviting. Here's the one on priority management of work times. Here's the one personal development. I need to learn, whatever it happens to be, and you can do it. So with that, I wanted to end that. I know I rambled on a little bit at the end here, but really, really important that we get to those things. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over to the questions. We have a lot of people on the webinar tonight, so I hope I can get out to all of you. If you have questions, what you need to do is just type them into the box and right here on your type them in, and we'll be happy to have it. Great! Wow, we got a lot of old friends, a lot of new friends out there. Hi to you all. So good to see you. Can't wait to see you again. All around the world are listening in tonight. So, Kim, do we have any questions here? Anything you wanted to add to that, Kim? Are you still there?
I am totally here. It was a great webinar. No, that was really, really good. A little clarity. Yeah, I do have one thing actually to ask you. Clarity, is it that you have
sure.
The first two sales are the only really two sales you need in your organization? Can you move up the ranks? Like, can you get your first two sales in to get your two 1A lanes filled? And then let's say in those, you start building underneath those two 1As and those team members start building out for you. Can you advance to a 5A quickly, or a 4A or 5A or a 6A simply just by having those two 1As sold underneath you?
Correct. Yes, you can. Keep in mind, though, in order to get to the new rank,
whatever
if you want to go to a
4. 1A.
Yeah. Oh, it's my keynote just quit for some reason. I don't know why that happened, but
no, we saw it. I saw it.
Anyway, I know, but it just checked out. I know. I don't know what happened there.
Weird.
Anyways,
Weird.
Are you still getting my screen?
I can see your screen. I see that lovely mountain.
Hey, yeah. So in this case, you need to have those first two sales, as you said, the two 1As in the group, and you can have 100. In fact, I have a distributor that actually happened with. That they literally, their next open sale was a 6A sale. They were like 103 sales. Someone in their organization went crazy, and they went all the way down that rank. I've also seen people have the same thing, and they only had the 1A sale, and they had to get a 1A. They were at 100 and some odd machines, and they had to get a 1A sale and then another 1A sale.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So you have to have the two 1A sales, is what you're saying.
You got to have the two 1A sales. One isn't enough. So just to get clear on that for everyone.
Very cool.
Did I answer your question correctly?
You did. You did. And then let's touch
Okay.
on the Ukon
Oh, hi,
sale.
Donna. Just 1 second. Just Donna put a question there that was
Okay,
great.
go for it.
Thanks. Thanks. Now you're feeling amazing, feeling discouraged this month and pumped up again. You know what? That's a great thing, and I want to talk about that for a second. Everybody in Enagic, I don't care what rank you are, you're going to experience some discouragement. And here's what I found. You know, the key way to stay pumped up on this business is to stay plugged in. Stay plugged into the webinars. Go to public events. Get around the group. Even if you don't have somebody being there, get some leverage on yourself. Go do the Eric Worre training. Get involved. The more involved you are in the group, the better it is, because what's going to happen is every now and then, for whatever reason, I don't know, the stars aligned, the weather, you might hit a rough patch or something. I don't know, maybe it's personal. Like, you're going to have these experiences where things get tough. And that's where the team pulls you through. That's where the camaraderie pulls you through. That's when your team members, and you know, I can tell you, I can remember times which was tough for me. I can remember times it was tough for Seehaw and for Creel and many of my other distributors. At times they were, you know, you question what you're doing. You question what's going on. And the reality is that's normal. It's okay. That's the magic of it. You can come back. You can recharge. But what I find is the people that develop the most momentum by keeping the routine, and you look at sports athletes, I think are great examples because they play so many games and all that sort of stuff early in their career, and everything is so through. I mean, think about it. Imagine every day your job, you get a report whether you failed or passed, and it's everywhere. You know, that's what pro athletes deal with, and what they do to get over the highs and lows, because every one of them goes through it all the time, both personally as a team wise, is it's the guys in the dressing room. That's the team people on your team. And it's also the ritual that you do every day. What is your ritual? You see this guy up here? Right here on my book. He's got his book, Unshakable, just came out. It's another one, the backup from the money one, your financial blueprint. He talks about it. Daily rituals. Tim Ferriss podcast. 85% of the superstar people that he has everybody from billionaires to sports athletes to actors, have a morning ritual routine. Over 85%.
Wow.
So it's worth it. I think developing that routine where you get into say, because what happens, and we get up in the morning and we turn on CNN. Ugh, what's the point? It's easy to get to the what's the point thing.
I think improving your skills is always something. Enhancing your skills is that's something. When I get bummed or when I think, I'm struggling. One of the things I focus on is like, okay, what do I need to improve upon that's going to get me over this hump?
Yeah, you know what? One of the things that and Tony, who's a master motivator, talks about, progress is the number one thing that determines happiness. And where people get bogged down or depressed is they feel that they're not making progress.
Ooh,
and the reality is sometimes when you're out there, especially in a sales setting, it's like flipping coins sometimes. You can flip a coin and, you know, you're betting heads and you got 7 tails in a row. You're thinking, maybe there's something wrong with my pitch. Maybe I'm not talking the right, like, you start questioning yourself. And instead, what you need to do is you need to be pumping yourself up, and you need to be developing skills and something where you're getting acknowledgement and you're getting that, you know, you're pumped up a little bit, right? You gotta feel the pump. And I think that's a really important thing to remember, that we all have to do that. So
yeah, I remember when I was getting a bunch of no's, I Googled how to get a yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, I got to get over this.
Yeah, and keep in mind that's you know, let's look at, you know, I was talking to JV in Okinawa, and the guy had 53 no's in a row. Now, JV in Okinawa was given that 2-6 rank. He got a check for $200,000.
Nice.
And I think that's what, say 2-6 is like, I don't know, it's like $30,000, $40,000 a month, something like that, some kind of crazy. He's making 85% of Enagic is under, in North America, is under JV.
Pacifico?
Yeah, 53 no's in the world, and a car so rusted out and bad he used to park it several blocks away from where he did a presentation because he was embarrassed to show up in it.
Oh, he's my hero.
Amazing story. He just didn't quit.
Yeah.
And somehow, and the big thing is he couldn't even pay for his Enagic machine. And he talks about this and everything. He couldn't pay for his Enagic machine, and Enagic didn't take the machine away from him because his wife needed it for his arthritis.
Oh.
And his first check came in, his first sale came in, and they're all doing a celebration because he could pay for his machine, the payment. And the next day the guy called in and canceled it.
Oh, no. Shut up. Wow, what a
That's
story.
what happened to him. And you know what? He's still going. 85% of the business is under him.
What a great story, Wade.
So Napoleon Hill talks about this in Think and Grow Rich, about the guy in the mine that was 3.5 feet from gold because he didn't get an engineer to come in and get the right stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to realize if you're getting feedback from, and you're having no's or having challenges, there's just a tiny course correction. The universe is trying to give you that tiny piece that are ready to go. So
good stuff.
Here we go. So here's a great. So Michael Boodoo. Hey, Michael. Great to have you on here tonight. And he says, what is the best text email that I can send people that will make them open it? That's a great question, Michael. Welcome to the team. What I would say, Michael, first and foremost is if you go to the Prosperity and Health Alliance, you can go on the YouTube channel, and there is an amazing presentation on inviting. In fact, there's several videos on inviting. I suggest that you watch them all. There is also, in our autoresponder sequence, you will get an email that actually breaks this down inside that, or you can email one of us, Creel or myself or whatever, and you can get that. And you should be acquiring and filing those emails. And for those of you who aren't on the call or aren't getting those emails, Kim, can you type Prosperity and Health Alliance inside the box there?
Yep.
Go to our website and get signed on to get your free training, and we'll send you the script, the exact script on how to do a text. But the best way to get a text is like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, that's what Eric Worre says.
How do you say? Yeah, like just how would you? Don't say. Don't sit there and go. Hey Bob, I just started a new business. It's really amazing. I'm selling these machines. I'm doing this full time. I gotta make stuff or whatever. I got like don't write a letter. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Can we meet up? Mm-hmm. That's it. Can we go for coffee? I want to catch up with you. I haven't seen you in a while.
What do they say? Get over selling and start serving.
Yeah, and I think this is another thing. Good point. Enagic talks about this, and it took me a while to really understand this from Mr. Oshiro. And it's true health with compassion. True health with compassion. And to have compassion, you got to be in service. Mm-hmm. You got to be thinking about the pain that other person might be in. You might be thinking about how you can help them be healthier, you can help their finances, how you can assist their peace of mind. So true health, peace of mind, one family at a time. And if you have that attitude, if you go to that presentation every single week and you know that there are people in that room that are suffering, if you know that there are friends and family members they have that might have their life saved by this water, if you know that there's someone struggling in that room financially, and this could be the presentation that changes their life, how are you going to come across in that presentation?
One thing Seehoff says is be a consultant. Be a consultant first. Yeah. Just tapping on to what you said. Didn't mean to interrupt you again. We have a little delay in our talk here.
Yeah. So, be in service. And that's what Mr. Shiro's about. It's with compassion, and that's what we do. Mm-hmm. So the best text, Michael, is just say, yeah, you're on. Can you be my mentor? Yeah. Well, if you want to hire me directly, that's going to cost you about $1,000 an hour. That's my rate. But I'm here every Monday night, and we've actually built a mentorship system. And so what I'm going to share with you is a very, very important component, Michael, and that is I'm going to give you a formula that was developed by Keith Yackey, a good friend of mine who has been a successful preacher. He's been a successful surfer. He's been a successful real estate guy. He's been a successful rock star with an album, the whole 9 yards, playing in Las Vegas Strip and the whole 9 yards and cutting an album. He's been a successful online marketer, and he's been a successful comedian. Okay? And he's like not even 40 years old. And I'm going to give you his formula. Here's how you get mentored and become the best in anything that you want to be. And that is, number one, you find out who you want to be. So in this case, you want to be successful in this business. What you want to do is you want to, number one, is you want to devour every single thing that that person produces. Okay? So in this case, you want to devour the first 12 emails that come in our course and learn every single thing so you have that done. And you go off there and start ripping it up. Number two, you want to become a testimonial for that system. So in other words, you want to be a testimonial for the prosperity and health system. You know what? I'm an Enagic. I took the system. I learned how to invite. I learned how to close. I learned how to sales. I got hooked up into the Eric Worre's program. I got hooked up into straight line persuasion. I took those courses and I became an absolute rock star. And I went 6A, whatever. Guess what? You're going to get people's attention. They're going to be asking you to come up and share your story. They're going to ask you. They're going to build a friendship with you. They're going to want to go to dinner with you. They want to go to events with you. They're going to want to have you on stage together. So the second part is be the testimonial, be the raging fan, and by that time, that's when you have an opportunity to build a personal relationship with that person, and you find out how you can serve them. How can I be of service to that point? And that is the easiest way to build a friendship. When people get to the top of this in any field, you have to realize that they put a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort, and they have a time management and a priority system. And one of the reasons that I do this webinar every single week is because it's the simplest way to get to literally hundreds of people at the same time. So it makes it worth my time and it works their time. So that's what you want to do, Michael. And the thing is one of the things that Eric talks about firing his upline. And I think that's a key component in this business. When you want to be at the top levels in this, you want to take full ownership. You want to say, you know what, this is my business. It's not about who's next to me, above me, or whatever. Whoever that was, they gave me the opportunity. They told me about this. They shared with me. Thank you, and move on. And I'll tell you this. My best distributors have been the easiest ones to work with, and I've probably put the least amount of effort into because they took ownership of it. There is nobody in this business that will stop you but you. And I'm just glad you're here on the call, and I think these are great questions. So and they're value for everybody. So so jump on here and keep going. Do we have any more questions from anybody in the field that are out here that want to get some questions answered here on the Prosperity and Health Alliance? Because if not, we are going to end this. So I don't see anything else. So again, one more time, just to follow up, the Prosperity and Health Alliance is a system that is for everybody in Enagic, and it's for all us distributors in the Prosperity and Health Alliance. There is a step-by-step sequence. Every single thing that you will need to build a business, as far as the basic skill set, is sent to you in an email. We have a Monday night meeting every Monday night except the first Monday of the month where we do the Kangen 1 info meeting. And we're here to serve you, and we're here to answer your questions. and we're here to acknowledge you for being in Enagic and part of Enagic. I'm super grateful that you're here. I feel really blessed. You know, over the last 9.5 years, this company has provided an amazing income for me. It's provided a lot of friends. It's allowed me to travel the world. It's afforded me an extraordinary lifestyle, Christmases with my families, exotic trips to far-off places, cultural experiences, and an opportunity to change people's lives physically, financially, and
Emotionally.
it's really something, and it's really worth it. And I can't say enough about Enagic. And you know, I was standing in Okinawa a couple weeks ago, and they had that tree that Mr. Oshiro and his wife planted there, and there's rows of trees of the 2-3s that they're honoring in the company for their contribution and the amount of people that they've helped, and that tree will grow and be there long after Mr. Oshiro and Mrs. Oshiro and long after I'm here, hopefully. It's a powerful experience to have that, and it's a different company, and we do things differently. And it's not all perfect, and there are challenges, and you are going to have to grow as a person to get where you want to go. But if you do it, it's extraordinary. And I just am very honored to have each and every one of you on here tonight, and I'm so grateful. And I want to let you know that I'll be here for as long as they let me. As they say, it's an awesome business, and I love my machine, and great to be here. So thank you so much for the Prosperity Health Alliance. I'm yours truly, Wei T. Lightheart, going out the airways. We'll see you on the Prosperity Health Alliance every Monday night. Thank you.